Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about 10 things to know about Abu Rayhan Biruni. So before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. During the Iranian Golden Age, Abu Rayhan Biruni was a scholar and polymath. He has been dubbed the father of comparative religion, the father of modern geodesy, and the first anthropologist among other titles. Here are 10 interesting facts about him. Number 10. Biruni excelled in the fields of physics, mathematics, astronomy and natural sciences, as well as history, chronology and linguistics. He studied almost every branch of science and was paid for his hard work and research. Biruni was commissioned by royalty and powerful members of society to conduct research and study in order to uncover certain findings. In addition to this type of influence, Biruni was influenced by other nations, such as the Greeks, from whom he drew inspiration when studying philosophy. He spoke Khwarezmian, Persian, Arabic and Sanskrit fluently, as well as Greek, Hebrew and Syriac. He lived in Ghazni, the Ghaznavids, capital at the time in modern-day Central Eastern Afghanistan. After exploring the Hindu faith practiced in India, he traveled to the Indian subcontinent in 1017, and authored Tariq-e-Hind, History of India, a study of Indian culture. He was an unbiased writer on various nations' customs and creeds, and his remarkable description of early 11th century India earned him the title Ustad, the master. In Iran, the birthday of Abu Rayhan Biruni is commemorated as the Day of the Surveying Engineer. Number 9. He was born in Kath, the capital of the Afrigid dynasty of Khwarezm in Central Asia, in the outer district, Biran. Biruni studied jurisprudence, theology, grammar, mathematics, astronomy, medicine, philosophy and dabbled in physics, and most other sciences for the first 25 years of his life in Khwarezm. The Iranian Khwarezmian language, which was Biruni's native tongue, survived until the Turkification of the region several centuries after Islam, and so must at least some of ancient Khwarezm's culture and law, for it's difficult to imagine the commanding figure of Biruni, a repository of so much knowledge, appearing in a cultural vacuum. He sympathized with the Afrigids, who were deposed in 995 by the Mahmunids' rival dynasty. He left his homeland for Bukhara, which was then ruled by Mansur II's uncle, the Samanid king. He corresponded with Avicenna there, and there are still exchanges of ideas between the two scholars. Number 8. He went to the court of Shams al-Moali Abul Hassan Gabuz ibn Washmir, the Ziyarid Emir of Tabaristan, in 998. Around 1000 AD, he wrote his first significant work on historical and scientific chronology, Asare Modravem, Goran-e Pishian, literally, the remaining traces of past centuries, and translated as Chronology of Ancient Nations or Vestiges of the Past, though he later made some changes to the text. He also paid a visit to the Bavandid ruler Marzaban's court. Accepting the Afrigids' eventual defeat at the hands of the Mahmunids, he made peace with the latter, who controlled Khwarezm at the time. Their court in Gorganj, also in Khwarezm, was becoming well known for attracting brilliant scientists. Number 7. Mahmud of Ghazni conquered Ray in 1017. The majority of the scholars, including Biruni, were brought to Ghazni, the Ghaznavid dynasty's capital. Biruni was named court astrologer, accompanied Mahmud on his invasions of India, where he lived for a period. When he went on the journeys with Mahmud of Ghazni, he was 44 years old. Biruni learned everything there is to know about India. He wrote his study of India during this period, finishing it about 1030. While on the expeditions, Biruni made it a point to research science in addition to writing. He wanted to find a way to calculate the height of the sun, so he designed a makeshift quadrant to do so. During his regular travels across India, Biruni was able to make significant progress in his studies. Number 6. Biruni was a Sunni Ash'ari theologian, who was also affiliated with Maturidi theologians. However, he was harshly critical of the Mu'tazila, especially al-Jahiz and Zurkhan. He also chastised Avicenna for his thoughts on the universe's eternality. 95 of the 146 books Biruni is known to have written were about astronomy, mathematics, and related subjects, including mathematical geography. He lived in the Iranian Golden Age, when the Abbasid caliphs encouraged astronomical study. This helped him with his astronomy research, because in Iran, worship and prayer require precise directions to sacred places, which can only be found using astronomical data. Biruni used a variety of approaches to conduct research in the various fields he researched. Number 5. I have started with geometry and progressed to arithmetic, and the science of numbers, then to the nature of the universe, and finally to judicial astrology. Biruni writes for no one who is worthy of the style and title of astrologer who is not deeply conversant with these four sciences. He lays the groundwork for the final chapter on astrological prognostication, which he criticizes in these earlier chapters. He was the first to differentiate between astronomy and astrology on a semantic basis. He wrote a refutation of astrology in a later work as opposed to astronomy, which he supports. Some believe that his reasons for opposing astrology were due to astrologers' methods being based on pseudoscience rather than empiricism, as well as astrologers' views clashing with Sunni Islam. He wrote a comprehensive commentary on Indian astronomy in the Targhiq Dar Hend, which is mainly a translation of Aryabhata's work, in which he claims to have resolved the matter of Earth's rotation in his Kelad-e-Kar-Enart key to astronomy, which is no longer extant. Number 4. The fact that the planet rotates has no bearing on the importance of astronomy, since all appearances of an astronomic nature can be clarified just as well by this principle as by the other. This principle is by the other, however, there are other factors that make it unlikely. This is the most difficult question to answer. The most influential modern and ancient astronomers have investigated the subject of the Earth's movement in depth and attempted to disprove it. We too have written a book on the topic, Kelad-e-Kar-Enart Key to Astronomy, in which we believe we have outdone our forefathers, if not in vocabulary then at least in content. Number 3. In his explanation of Sijsi's astrolabe, he alluded to current debates about the Earth's movement. Biruni had a long correspondence and often heated debate with Ibn Sina, in which he repeatedly attacked Aristotle's celestial physics. He claims that vacuum must exist by simple experiment. He is amazed by the weakness of Aristotle's case against elliptical orbits on the grounds that they would produce vacuum, and he challenges the immutability of the celestial spheres. Biruni noted, contrary to Ptolemy, that the sun's apogee, highest point in the heavens, was mobile, not set in his major astronomical work, the Masu'id Canon. He wrote a treatise on the astrolabe detailing how to use it as a timepiece and a surveying quadrant, an ancestor of later Persian astrolabes, and clocks could be found in a diagram of an 8-geared unit. In 1749, Dunthorne used Biruni's eclipse data to help calculate the moon's acceleration, and his data on equinox times and eclipses was used as part of an analysis of Earth's past rotation when debating after Jewish months. Biruni was the first to subdivide the hour sexagesimally into minutes, seconds, thirds and fourths in 1000. Number 2. Biruni is famous for vehemently defending the majority Persian philosopher's position that the world has a beginning, being a firm supporter of creatio ex nihilo, and directly refuting the philosopher Avicenna in a multiple-letter correspondence, similar to later Ash'aris such as Ghazali. The following is what Biruni said: also other people hold the erroneous belief that time has no terminus quo at all. He also said that Aristotle, whose reasoning Avicenna relies on, contradicted himself when he said that the world and matter have a beginning, while maintaining that matter is pre-eternal. In his letters to Avicenna, he reiterated Aristotle's claim that the creator changes. He went on to claim that saying there is a shift in the creator would suggest a change in the result, implying the world has changed, and that the universe coming into being after not being is such a change, implying that claiming there is no change, no beginning, implies Aristotle assumes the creator is negated. Biruni took pride in adhering to the religion's textual evidence rather than being influenced by Greek thinkers such as Aristotle. Number 1. Biruni invented a novel method for calculating the Earth's circumference based on the height of a peak. He carried it out in Pind Dardan Khan's Nandana, present-day Pakistan. He calculated the circumference of the Earth using trigonometry, and measurements of the height of a hill and the dip in the horizon from the top of that hill. His measured radius of 3,928.77 miles for the planet was 2% greater than the true mean radius of 3,847.80 miles. His estimation was 12,803,337 cubits, so the precision of his estimate in relation to the modern value is based on the cubit conversion used. The precise length of a cubit is unknown. His estimation for an 18-inch cubit is 3,600 miles, while his estimate for a 22-inch cubit is 4,200 miles. One major flaw in this method is that Biruni was unaware of atmospheric refraction and did not account for it. In his calculations he used a dip angle of 34 arc minutes, but refraction will change the calculated dip angle by about 1/6, making his approximation only accurate to about 20% of the true value. Biruni divides Hindus into two groups, educated and uneducated. He characterizes educated people as monotheistic, believing in a single divine and omnipotent God who rejects all types of idol worship. He acknowledges that uneducated Hindus worshipped a variety of gods, but he also points out that some Muslims such as the Jabriya have embraced anthropomorphic God concepts. What do you think of our facts? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit